I'm glad you returned for another short introduction to help you maybe understand the context of what you're reading this week. This week we're going to read Ezekiel 29 through Ezekiel 40. And here in chapters 29 to 32, you're going to see these oracles against Egypt. Remember, Egypt, what a powerful nation, and the pharaohs. And yet, unlike the nations in chapters 25 to 28, they're going to be destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar. Egypt is never actually ever destroyed, which history proves out. But it does become, as it says here, the lowest of the kingdoms. And if you've noticed, Egypt has never recovered to its former glory of influence. And that's just as was prophesied here by Ezekiel in the portions you're reading this particular week. Now, the prophecies in these following chapters were giving after the overthrow of Jerusalem. And so no longer is Ezekiel going to be focusing on the coming judgment because of the rebellion, because it's done. So he's going to find that the promises are now going to be more centered around consolation and positive theme of comfort, and that there's a future, there's a hope. God's not going to give up on his people. So just as surely as judgment had come, blessings are going to also come. And he's going to talk about how he's going to regather his people from the entire globe and bring them back and restore them as a nation and then bless them as a nation. You see, Ezekiel has been a watchman, and he speaks of the future of a true shepherd. And of course, this true shepherd is going to lead them. And we know who that true shepherd is going to be. It's Jesus Christ himself. And you've heard about the vision of the dry bones and how those bones are reanimated into a nation by the Spirit of God. Well, that's all going to be in your reading this particular time. Matter of fact, in Ezekiel 36, it's that great passage where it talks about even though the people of Israel embarrassed God and he scattered them throughout the world, that God's going to regather them. And when God regathers them, he's going to not only forgive their sins, but he's going to pull out their old heart, put a new heart, and he's going to place his Spirit within them and cause them to walk in the statutes. That prophecy hasn't been fulfilled yet. Some want to say it all happened in 1948. No, Israel has not been restored by all the global Jews, have not returned. Spirit of God has not been placed within them. They're not honoring God at this time. But that is the future. And what's really interesting is that here our Jewish friends, the nation of Israel, Jews, they've been targeted throughout history by all the great civilizations to eradicate, to destroy. And yet the Bible and Ezekiel always said that at the end, God would be faithful to the Jews, his own people. They will be there and he will restore them. And I don't know, when's the last time you had lunch with a Babylonian or a Hittite or any Jebusite or a termite? In other words, the reality is our Jewish friends are still here and tied to being Jewish and to their history, just like the Bible prophesies, especially here in Ezekiel 36. And that's when it says God will not only forgive their sins, but he's going to place the Spirit within them. And then it just follows that where you have the vision of the dry bones, where God brings all of Israel and all the promises God has made to Israel, he's going to fulfill. And so we come to chapter 40, and Ezekiel is going to get this vision of the new earth, new heaven and a new earth. This is going to be a remarkable section for you to read. Hope you enjoy it. And then we'll pick it up next week. God bless you.